didn't want to do it, if you didn't have good pickup, you just stood the chance of getting squashed every day. And I tell you, with the Tesla, it is like going into surgery with a scalpel versus going into surgery with a butter knife, because it is just, you can pinpoint this car's acceleration. You know, you could just the control you have over that acceleration is amazing, and how quick and how fast you can turn it on, turn it off. Like, it's just insane. And this is the slowest one. This is the SR Plus, the cheap one. I couldn't, you know, I test drove the long range and I love the acceleration in there, but value wise and my commute being 100 miles, once I determined that I could do it with the SR Plus, I just went with the SR Plus and saved the money. I wanted the full self-drive is really what I wanted. There were two things I was looking for when buying the Tesla. I'm not much of, wasn't much of a green, this is the other corner where I would slow it down. Wasn't much of a green activist, more of a techie. So I wanted the tech, and I wanted two things I was after was saving gas money, because my old car was getting 20 miles per gallon, and it was killing me. It was costing me $15 a day at, you know, $3.80 a gallon back then. It was costing me $15 a day to get back and forth to work. And when I started doing the calculations for the Tesla, it was only $4 a day, $4.50 back and forth to work. And that's a huge savings, especially when you're doing it 6 days a week. So it made sense to make the switch, you know. Everybody says, oh, you don't buy a Tesla to save money. But I've got news for you. When you buy the $35,000 Tesla and you get a federal tax credit and a state credit of almost $7,000, then you take off your gas prices or the gas savings alone. I mean, I'm looking at right now at 60,000 miles. If this car can make it to 180,000 miles, it'll practically have been free to drive with the gas savings. So we'll see what happens. I'm hoping to get more. You know, I drive them till they die. So that is my plan with the Tesla as well. I know everybody recently has been like, oh, you should trade it in, you'll get good money, and I understand it, but right now with this car, I got such a connection to it that I would hate to see it go. It would really upset me to have to get rid of this car. There's only one other car that I really had that connection with, and that was my Mustang, and I hated to see that go. But the Mustang was too much maintenance to upkeep, and to you know, it was an older car, and it just wasn't for me. I wasn't wrenching on it every day. As a matter of fact, I let it sit a little too long, and before you knew it, the problems built up, and then it just you know, if you're not into working on cars, which I'm not, I don't really, you know, not really a car guy. I like driving cars, I like going fast, but I'm not really a wrencher or a mechanic guy. And that's why another thing that was perfect about the Tesla, I mean, when you're not a mechanic type, you know, wrenching type person, this is perfect. I mean, I had two cars blow up from lack of change, not lack of changing oil, but lack of checking oil. You know, because, you know, I drive cars with 200, 300,000 miles. They typically leak a lot, and if you don't check it every week or two, you could have a problem. I'd go a month without checking it. I had two cars, and you can see this guy encroached on our lane there. The car actually slowed down for that. So I actually blew up two cars due to lack of oil in the engines, and I mean, that's huge, and it's amazing to not even have to think about that anymore. You know, just another one of those benefits that you get from having an electric car, not even specifically a Tesla, but just any electric car would be the same way. It's really kind of amazing how it is here. Car. I don't know why the camera is like 1,000 degrees. I don't know if it's supposed to be 1,000 degrees. Very warm. why it's doing that. So again, you know, just basic autopilot, man. We are cruising along. There is not no real problems. You know, autopilot has been pretty good for a year and a half now. Back when I got it in 2019, it did a little bit of a weird stuff here or there, but now it's just gold. And I don't get a lot of phantom brakes. Everybody seems to say phantom braking, this, that. And I don't get any. Granted, I do have the radar car, but I am not sure that it is using the radar. Since I'm in the beta, and the beta I think uses all vision. I don't think it uses your radar once you're in the beta. You see here, it wanted to make that lane change, so it's telling me, hey, I want to make a lane change. Are you awake? And I say yes, I'm awake, by giving a little push on the wheel. And now she's going to try to find her spot in the lane. So you can see it does it all itself. The only thing I'll say about the lane changes in the beta or in autopilot is it seems to make the lane change, but it doesn't get on the gas. So I always feel like I give it a little accelerator push once it makes the lane change, so it doesn't annoy the person behind me, where I'm getting in the lane and then slowing down to leave that 3 car lengths. I agree with it. Properly, that's what you should do. But 684 doesn't allow for a lot of that. So this guy's on my butt. I see everything's braking and stopping up here. See the blue thing come up, wants to know I'm here. So I usually keep some pressure on the bottom of the wheel, so it doesn't annoy me. Now it's going to try to change into the faster lane. There's a car coming up. It sees it. So see the red line there? That means it's not going to change. Now the car's passed. Now it sees it's open. Now it's going to change. And you can see my left repeater camera comes up there too, which is a new feature and really nice. But you can see it leaves that 3 car lengths. It should be on the gas a little quicker here, because this is the fast lane, and people are going to they don't want you in the way. And I agree with them. I don't want to be in the way in the fast lane. I want to be moving. It'd be nice if, like, the computer could say, hey, this is the fast lane, add 5 miles an hour. This is the fast lane, add 10 miles an hour, because it can see by past how fast I drove in this lane. I always put it up to 72, but sometimes I'll scroll it up to 75 in this lane. And it handles it fine. 80's the max on the autopilot, so I could do more than 80, but I got to shut off the autopilot, and then it won't drive itself, which is fine. But hopefully this GoPro works out. I've never tried it before. I want to hook it up to one of my either my YouTube, maybe. I don't know if I can do YouTube live yet. I think I could do like Twitch or something. Maybe I'll hook it up to my Twitch and do like a live. I'm sure nobody will watch, but whatever. So here we go. I got someone behind me. They're pushing me, so I'm going to give it a little gas. Now I got to be careful not to go over 80 and snap it out, get in trouble for going over 80 on autopilot, because then the car will yell at me and it will give me a strike, I believe. And if I get 3 strikes or 5 strikes, then I'm out of the beta program. I already got 1 strike because I'm a dopey-doo who was too tired one day to pay attention. And the Tesla did everything great. I was nodding off, and it went on for a few miles on this road, straight road, and it yelled at me a few times. I should have probably pulled over, maybe took a break or something, I don't know. But I was right down the road from the house. It was literally a mile from the house. So I was like, oh, I can make it. And then I just kept going. And it eventually yelled at me and said, we're taking you off beta and you get a strike. But again, I mean, I've done that in a gas car before with no autopilot. And I've been all over the road practically, luckily not killing myself or someone else. I mean, to think that you could do that in here now, people will want to say, oh, that's because you are on this software, that's why you're nodding off. But that was not the case. I had been up late, it had been a long week, I was tired, so that wasn't why I was nodding off. I was nodding off because I was tired. I had been up late, and you know, I needed to get some rest. And how many times do you go and drive when you feel like that, you know, and put others at risk, put yourself at risk? I mean, I know for a fact, you know, coming from where I was 10 years ago, I had a motorcycle and I was tired, and I still went out riding, and it was the worst decision of my life because I broke both of my legs. Broke a leg and a foot, but still, you know, I that was because I was tired and my motor skills weren't on par with what needed to be to ride a motorcycle at high speeds, you know. And you think about what the software will do. Forget about robo-taxi, forget about all that. I mean, I could probably say it saved my life a few times so far. I know it has at least twice. If you count I mean, not to say it saved my life, but it saved me from injuring my car or other people's cars. And it kept me on the road. It keeps you on the road, and that's great. I mean, that's wonderful